Okay, how is this? Can I? Am I good now? I think I had myself on mute. Hold on, man. This is a disaster. Guys, go ahead and give me a pulse check. Let me know if this is live. Vernon can't saying no audio. Hey, I think we should be having some audio now. So give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Give me the Heidi McGee disqualified or no. Sean G says yup, but Sean G, I don't know what you're saying yup to. Lethal Lassiter here joining in live on the Tinter Battles Network. Fernando Saints now coming back saying we're live now, it seems like. All right. Now, Eric Devash joining in the house here. Thank you so much, Mr. Devash, the Devastator. Future Hall of Famer here coming up in about 2 weeks. Devash is going to be celebrating now in San Antonio down with WFC team. Repeat everything. James Clark from Rap Right, Fernando saying, thank you guys for joining in on live. So this episode is designed to go through what the event is. And I really want you guys to ask the questions. If there's anything that we haven't covered or you don't know about, please let us know. I am intending this podcast to be something that can be rewatched, re-listened to, and those who cannot tune in live can watch it back and understand what the program is going to be, what to expect with the show, whether you're an attendee, spectator, a vendor, competitor, or just walking in and seeing what the heck this Tintertainment / Tinter Battles really is. So thank you guys for joining here on the live itself. So that being said, if you guys are watching, turn the elevator music off. Hold on, man. Hold on. Jesus, let me just turn it down. It was a little bit loud, I actually gotta say. So anyways, that being said, let's get back into business here. So Tinter Battles August 15th and the 16th are the two show dates. Now we're having everything set up on the 14th. The production team is going to be there starting at 6 a.m. in the morning. Now I'm not saying you guys have to be there at 6 a.m., but we're going to be there at 6 a.m. in the morning, starting to set everything up. A lot of the vendors are going to start rolling in somewhere around 9 to start setting everything up. Now, I do want to say something because there were some vendors that I've seen in other shows. Please do not show up on August the 15th expecting to be able to set up. You are not going to be able to set up. There's over 500 people that are registered to attend. Trust me, you probably will not have the space and we will not have the time to accommodate. So show up August the 14th setup starting from 9 a.m. till about 5 or 6 p.m. Cody Tecklenburg joining in the live. Cody's one of the competitors here on the flat glass side. So he says LA is for sale. Of course, this is a straight shot here to Chris Garcia, who lives in Los Angeles, California, having a home field advantage, but having a major target there on his back. Los Angeles is definitely for sale, and we'll see if the defending reigning champion, actually, we don't have a defending champion, but we'll see if there's going to be a new champion. This is the first time Tinter Battles is doing a singles division for the automotive and the flat glass rounds. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let some people come in, stroll in a little bit more before we go into the official heats, because the official heats has been selected. We have already put the names in there, and we will be publishing them here before the podcast is over. Now, as I was saying before, we're going to go over the entire schedule from the setup all the way to the very end and where to find this information. We have tried to put it as many places as possible, so you'll be able to find a lot of the need to knows on our Instagram page. You can just go to the top of @Tinter Battles and you'll see the pinned post. Everything is designed to be seamless and simple, easy to find. You don't have to go through hoops and hoops of click this page and go that page and click this menu and go here. Everything is designed to be straightforward, upfront, simple, so that you can enjoy the moment where it truly matters. Now, there's a lot of things that is different with this year's program, from the competition formats to the style of the show and the production of it. So my intent is to go over this. So those that have the questions, please, please, please take a moment to drop the questions below, because I don't know what you guys don't know. I wrote the show, so I know everything that's happening with the show, all the way from the back end to the front end, from the picking up the phones to talking with Blueground, all the way to now to designing everything and putting it on the website. So whatever you've seen written on the website, you can bet your bottom try it. Your boy, the Texas Squeegee, has had a hand on it. So please let me know what you don't know so that I can answer the questions that you may not know. Factory tops for flat. Chris, why are you asking me elementary questions, bro? Like, if you're asking this question now, I think you're in trouble, my boy. I'll let you figure that one out. So you can factory top whatever you want. Anyways, so that being said, if you guys are ready for it, let's go ahead and get the official heats going. Let me just go ahead and stroll this over here on this side. Get this going here. We're going to do a little bit of a screen share. The heats are officially live on the tintertainment.com website. That is tintertainment.com. As a matter of fact, to make this super simple, let's go ahead and let the Texas Squeegee type this out there in the comment sections. You will see it pop up here momentarily on YouTube, it seems like. Is any of the films, Cody Tecklenburg, great question. Is any of the films going to be 8mm version for flat? No, this year we are not doing 8mm films. We are doing all solar films, but they're going to be 3 different colors, all designed to have a different purpose for flat glass. And we'll get into more detail about the specific divisions themselves. That being said, we got about a little over 22 viewers, and I'm sure we're going to be having a lot more watching this. So let's get the competitor heats up on the screen. Without further ado, presenting the official automotive division. Automotive heats. I'm trying to just kill time. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Here we go. Auto singles division, heat number 1. We're starting off with Alicia Yancey, Kayla Ramirez, Chris Garcia, Jeffrey Garcia, Johnny Blaze, Josh Miller, Rico Lopez, Sean G. Titman, Jordan Shady J, Song T. Kim from Korea, by the way, Wilfredo Quinones, Andre Minart, Jaden Ray, Manuel Benelos, Daniel Barboza, and Fernando Rivas. That's who we have on heat number 1. We're going to go over the format for how this is going to work. And so if you're watching this and you see yourself, your name on the heats, one of these is going to be your opponent. You must eliminate and rank a better window to advance and possibly get into the final. So here we go with heat number 2. These are your competitors right here. Eddie Avila, Fernando Sainz, Jeffrey Renteria, Jesus Isabel, Jose Avalos, Richard Jackson, Seth Gage, Ricky Miller, Eli Albello, Dylan Turnage, Byung-Yul Park, Cheyenne Kylie, Chase Luke, PJ White, Eric Escobedo, and Mauricio Chapa. That is it right there. Screenshot that if you want to save it, or I'll show you later on the website where you can click, hold, and save to your phone. This is heat number 3. I don't know how many times we should be allowing this, the official airtime here, but of course, some of the notable names here is Alexis L. Magic, Danny Munoz, Rodon McCulloch, former Tinter Battles champions from Houston, Texas, as well as a few others out there who are going to make a name for themselves. We have heat number 4. This is the one right here, so take a screenshot there. Boom. Next one, heat number 5. Take a screenshot there. Boom. There's all 5 heats right here. Now we're going to go into the flat glass division. Pete Espinoza opening up the house along with a few other notable names. One person in particular in this round is going to be none other than Frankie Vargas. He is a self-proclaimed 18-year-old prodigy who has been up at Pete Espinoza's spine. He's got a target on Pete. We're gonna see if they're gonna pair themselves together. I can't force them to pair themselves together, but I think this is going to be the anticipated matchups of the flat glass division. Here we go with the flat glass heat number 2. Some heavy hitters in this one. Letha Lassiter returning from from the Tinter Battles flat glass battles, Houston. Dante Peterson of Worldwide Tint. Of course, we got Bruce True Spray, Slavish, Brian Tecklenburg, former Tinter Battles competitor, Logan Wild, former Tinter Battles competitor, Tiffany Rodriguez, the wife of Cedro Rodriguez, Nathan Burks, Timothy Osterloh. I mean, the names just go on and on. This is a heavy hitting heat that we are having for heat number 2. Heat number 3, couple of standout names with this one. Josh Miller, Richard Glenn Jackson, the founder of Important Sauce, William Kahele, who is Cheyenne's husband coming from Hawaii, Flat Glass Joe Guzman, and Marcus Quintana, former Tinter Battles, Flat Glass Battles teams champions, now in the same heat. Question is whether they are going to be competing against each other or they're going to divide and conquer this heat. That's going to be the main question that a lot of people are going to be paying attention to looking into this one. Next heat we have is, of course, heat number 4, the final flat glass heat. Standout names: Alicia Yancey, Kayla Ramirez, former Flat Glass Battles teams competitors, former XDC champion and finalist runner-up Cedro Rodriguez, and of course the boogeyman himself. We got to talk about Fernando Sainz just by himself. He's been every competition that this man has entered this year. He has taken first place. Make no mistake about it, Fernando Sainz is coming in to collect gold once again. Of course, we have Johnny Blades, multiple-time Tinter Battles competitor, Ricky Miller, multiple times WSTT champion, and the reigning, defending Flat Glass Battles teams champion, of course, Chris Garcia, a Worldwide Tint, looking to make a name for himself after suffering a devastating loss at the Film Fest competition for Flat Glass. Of course, we have the industry performer, El Magic. I mean, this is a heavy-hitting heat all the way through and through. So let's bring this back here to the chat. Ricky Run at Heat 4 stacked. I mean, this is an incredible Incredible heat. I see PJ White shrugging shoulders. Not exactly sure what's going on. I don't speak emojis, so go ahead and drop your questions, and the Texas Squeegee will do his best to answer this one-on-one with the tinted one. Man, you guys have been dropping some comments in this. So if you have any questions about how any of those names, please drop your comments. The most important thing to understand with this year's division is going to be this. So let's take me over to the official schedule here. 1 second. Let me stream that on the big screen. Share the screen right on this side right here. This is on the website itself. So if you click on tintertainment.com, this is a homepage. This is what you're going to see. You see at the very top, buy tickets. If you haven't registered your tickets, we will be selling tickets at the door as well. Anybody under 18 must register, but they are completely free. They do not need to pay. And if you need assistance with on-site registration, I will have an entire registration team to assist you very quickly, very efficiently at the door. We're going to scroll down a little bit, and you'll find the address, the dates, and the link to the venue right here. Once you click on that, it's going to take you over to a different Google page where you can access directly. So if you're taking an Uber, you're in the hotel, you need to get there, click on that, tintertainment.com. You scroll down, register tickets. You can't miss it. Once you scroll down a little bit more, here you have the official schedule. It's broken down between day 1 and day 2. Now, if you notice, 9 a.m., the doors open for the show. 10 a.m., competition starts. And you'll notice that there's no times underneath the heats for any of these divisions. And here's the reason why. We are starting the automotive singles at 10 a.m. Flat glass singles is going to start when we're done with the automotive, and then auto singles heat 2 will start after we're done with flat glass heat 1. This is what's called a rolling round format, similar to a fight card that you typically see in like in a boxing match or a UFC or a wrestling show. The rounds, they roll into each other. Now, for those that may not be attending the event from the very get-go, you're going to ask the question, how do I know when I'm going to go up there? Well, aside from knowing your actual heat, you will need to tune in live on the Tinter Battles networks on YouTube or Facebook, where we will be professionally streaming the competition, so you're able to track which round we're in, what heat we're in, what division we're in. That way you can time yourself and be a bit more prepared. However, when in doubt, show up early, and if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So if you notice, each round rolls into the next one. Auto rolls into flat glass, auto heat 3 rolls into flat glass heat 3, auto heat 4 rolls into flat glass heat 4, and then we have auto heat 5 rolling into the heat shrink battle preliminaries, which we will talk about the heat shrink battles here momentarily. From all of these, the top 8 scores of all of the divisions are going to move on to the official finals, which we will release this evening, August 15th. So just follow the accounts, stay up to date, and let us know. Let me check in here in the chats to see if you guys have any questions for the Texas Squeegee. Where do we have access to these? Dante Peterson says, where do we have access to these? This is going to be on tintertainment.com, and you will also find these on the official Tinter Battles Instagram pinned post at the very top. Very simple, very easy. Let's see a few more questions. I was a little late to the party. Ricky Miller said, which auto was I in? We're going to go over that one more time, Ricky. By the way, Ricky, this is all available on the website, tintertainment.com. We will also be publishing this on the Instagram account after the live concludes. We have a few others. Who is in Heat 3? Flat. I didn't hear auto. Like I said, we're going to go over this here. This will all be published. If you missed this live, if you missed anything here, we're going to be publishing this on the Instagram and Facebook at Tinter Battle social media accounts. You can also find us on our website at tintertainment.com. I'm going to say this about 1,000 more times before this live is officially over. So that being said, one of the different formats that we have created for everyone for this show is going to be set up as a 1v1 battle heat. So out of the competitors that are entering each heat, you guys are going to pick either a car or a flat glass. Both of the formats run mirror to each other between auto and flat glass. So let's take auto, for example. If you're competing in the automotive division, you're going to be paired, or you're going to select. It's up to you. You're going to walk in, pick a car. Whoever ends up on the other side of that car is going to be your opponent. In order to advance, you have to rank a better window than the person across from you, and then your window will receive a score. At the end of all of the heats, the top 8 scores are advancing into the finals. So if that didn't make sense, please drop a comment below. Again, when you're entering your heat, you are going to select your vehicle. You're going to select your flat glass stand. Whoever you end up with next to you is going to be your official opponent. You must rank a better window than them in order to get scored. Then the top 8 scores out of all of the heats advance into the finals. I hope that makes sense for everybody. Now, one of the questions that we've recently had as well is, can I pick a partner or how do I select my opponent? That is going to be completely up to you. Once you enter the round, you pick a card. You can enter the heat with a pre-picked opponent that you guys can select it, whether that's an employee, whether that's a family member, whether that's a coworker. It's completely up to you. If you're in the same heat, one of those people on that heat is going to be your opponent that you must outrank and defeat in order to get a score and advance. Yeah, so let's see here. Tints by Rico said, the film trainer, they can use one of my film suppliers, both sponsoring the film. Not exactly sure what's going on. Tints by Rico, another one. Chris Garcia, you will, when you look over and see me done with a clean install while you're stuck on the first door. All right, so I guess we're getting a little bit some trash talking going on here. Pete Espinoza saying belts to asses. Of course, this is a direct shot here at Frankie. We're going to find out what exactly is going on here. But ladies and gentlemen, let me take you back over to the website here momentarily. Again, tintertainment.com. You scroll down, you'll find the official schedule. You can press and hold, and it'll save to your phone. That way you can reference it. This is going to stay here throughout the duration of the event. This right here is also a reminder that if you're entering the show and you have people back home that want to watch you, we are professionally streaming this event. Now, what that means is not somebody holding a phone and it looks jittery and janky like it's being recorded on a jitterbug phone. This is a professionally produced stream, meaning multi-camera, lights going on, an actual television producer there cutting between cameras with live commentary going on throughout the entire day for a seamless, nonstop action experience here at Tinter Battles VI in Los Angeles, California. God, dog. Now we scroll down a little bit. You see where it's section where it says about the event. You'll see auto singles competition. You can click on that. That'll give you some information about the preliminary rounds. And this will be getting some final updates before the actual event. Underneath it, you'll see flat glass singles competition, heat shrink battles competitions, and some of the training workshops that we have, as well as how to enter the event and all that good stuff. That being said, let me take it back to the audience. And let's see what we got. Is everybody does this make sense for everybody? I'm not really sure. You guys are really asking too many questions. Maybe we've done a pretty decent job of getting the information out there. Pete Espinoza here joining in saying California better show out with all of those tinters over there. Yep. I will say there's a huge influx of Californians coming into the show. I mean, I think probably more than half of the 500 plus people that are attending are easily from California. I mean, we're constantly seeing tickets being registered into the show, and they're constantly from California themselves. So make no mistake about it, they're going to put up a fight. But at the end of the day, we don't know who can take this. We don't know if it's going to be a California native with a home field advantage, or whether it's going to be somebody completely out of the state. We don't know. Maybe a complete underdog. We don't know. This is the first time an industry organization and events platform has done this style of competition head-to-head format. So let's see. Marco, the film trainer, says, what if installers film supplier isn't a sponsor? What film can they use? You can use any film that will be on site. So we have directed a lot of our vendors who are bringing film over to bring more than you think that you need, because they will probably be getting used, especially during the training seminars that we have at the show. Again, one of the things that makes Tinter Battles different is that we have Tesla show floor cars on the show floor. They're available for everybody to use, bring life to them. Those that are coming in to do some training, you can feel free to host trainings. Those that are coming in to get some content, you can create content. There's no restrictions. We don't penalize for making videos. This is an experience. We purposely we go through so many links to give people such an awesome experience. So of course we want people to record it. We want people to give us their feedback, tag us online at Tinter Battles, hashtag Tinter Battles VI. Tints by Rico says, great question. Is flat glass all solar guard? And the answer for this one, flat glass is going to be all solar guard for the preliminaries and the semifinals. In the prelims, we're doing solar films. In the actual finals, we're working with 3 different types of films. We're doing solar silver, bronze, and a neutral film called stainless steel. Plus, flat glass is going to have a little bit of a hidden reveal challenge right before we kick off the finals. So that's going to be extremely exciting to see. Let's see here. Sean G. Tintman said, Dante Peterson, that's how I interpreted it. I'm not really sure what's going on. Anyways, so pretty exciting. One of the other things as well is we're having a Teams PPF battles. That one is a bit more simpler to to go through because Solar Guard decided to again power the productions to have this show going on. With PPF, it's different than what we've done. I think it's different than what anybody's truly done in the past. We're having three different types of PPF films. The front bumper is going to go with clear PPF. We got two fenders. One of them is color change gloss. The other one's color change matte. And then we're adding windshield protection film. Make no mistake about this, folks. There is going to be millions upon millions of views on the show here. So make sure you get your hair done, Dad. Get a six pack. You guys got about 6 days to get that six pack. And make sure that you are looking pretty nice here. We're going to be broadcasting a lot of you guys here, man. I didn't want to say, though, kind of a personal comment here. I don't know who has been to Amelia Island. If you went to Amelia Island, drop a comment below. I would like to know who went to Amelia Island. But this show was done 3 years ago. To this day, it is still talked about. It was such a monumental program that at the time was so far ahead of its time, and I think it still is by today's standards. However, it always kind of remained as sort of the program that was at the pinnacle of what Tinter Battles did. To some, to the others, the Houston one did much better. But every program, I felt like it was somewhat in the shadow of Amelia Island just because of the grandeur size of it. However, this program that we have in Los Angeles, California, from a personal note, feels like it's going to have much more of an impact in terms of its importance, not only to the people that attend the show, but I think to the industry in general. There are so many new creative concepts that we are exploring with this, not only just from like the setup of the show, but also the production of the show, the formats of the competitions. I mean, it's all original to Tintertainment and Tinter Battles. So, in preparation for this program, I just been having like almost like this little voice in the back of my head that I think that the impact of what we're about to do next weekend is going to be something that's going to be talked about for many, many years. So if you're going out to the show, if you're going out to the program, do yourself a favor, bring your phones fully charged, because we are going to give you so many experiences that you will want to capture. The other thing is you can't ever capture too much of the show. When you start going back home, those that are flying back home, those that are driving back home, you're gonna experience what has been known as the Tinter Battles withdrawal syndrome. You're gonna look back at this experience that just almost like slapped you in the face. It came and went so quick, but you're just standing in awe, like what just happened. It's so much to take in. We've been working for months on creating not only the show floor, but the flow and just experiencing it all together. Trying to envision really what's going to yield the best experience for the attendee, for the vendors, for the competitors, for the new generation that comes out to the shows. So we've done a pretty good job. I'm incredibly proud of the team that we're working with, and I'm incredibly thankful for all of the partners that have supported the show as well, for making this happen here. So it's going to be an awesome program. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I don't know how you all are feeling, but I've got this sense of calmness. I'm not really nervous about this. It's almost like we've been through this enough times in the past. It's just, there's a sense of maturity going into the show that it just feels like we are about to go on this ride, and I just can't wait to get in there. I can't wait to get in there. There's so many people coming out to the show as well. Louis Film Pros Nation is relaunch coming up here in Los Angeles, California. I did want to give a couple shout outs. PPG Stream. So this is a PPG, a giant company they launched their PPF, but they've never really truly been at a show. So they wanted to partner with Tinter Battles because they saw that the amount of momentum that the show has, the amount of new attendees that the show brings to the floor. We connect with so many tenders out there in the world. It's not just in the US, but Latin America, across the sea, and in Asia and in Europe. We have so many viewers everywhere, man. And I've really been proud of that to sort of be a connecting point between cultures and backgrounds, and the way that people do tinting in, for example, like the Middle East is different than how we do it in the US. Now, it's not in my position to say which one is better or not. At the end of the day, we are all tied, we're all connected to each other through this craft. And it's always been our policy, always will be our policy. We don't dictate where the industry goes. We are just a reflection of what the industry is. So That's why we don't have too many restrictions on window tinting, bottom loading, two staging. If you want to use a torch, if you want to, whatever it is, torch shrinking, heat gun shrinking, we want to see it all because ultimately the people that watch this program learn a lot from each other and it brings much more people together. So Chris Garcia says worldwide Tinter Battles. Tint by Rico says, is Drake invited? I don't think last time we tried inviting Drake, his account doesn't accept messages. So hey man, we've actually tried inviting a lot of celebrities, but a lot of them, like John Mayer has interacted with Tinter Battles videos in the past. He's one of my favorite guitarists. I sent a message. We haven't gotten a response. Maybe he saw it. I don't know. Maybe he'll walk in. I don't know, man. Just we don't know who's gonna walk in at this event, but we're ready for it. We want everybody at this show. So let me invite him. Marco Gazzola says he's going to invite him here. Man, you guys have come on, drop your questions here. What's going on? I feel like I'm just talking by myself here. God, dog. Anyways, I've got somebody that's waiting here on the backstage. We're going to bring him. He is going to be one of the people that is going to be assisting in some of the announcing and some of the commentating. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Tin Star Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Tin Star Bob.
What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? What's up,
God.
Carlos?
What's up, man? Are you talking through a Coke can with the string attached to it, or what's going on?
Unfortunately, I'm on AirPods right now. Can you hear me?
Oh no, yeah, we can hear you.
Mm-hmm. What if I took the AirPod?
I don't know.
What if I took? Let me see if I.
Let's give it a shot. We're live. This is a live TV. As they say, this is live TV. Everything's part of the show. How's this? Let's go. How's it going? Good? Sound check, mic check.
Yeah, how about now?
Oh, much better.
Check. All right, cool.
Perfect.
All right, yeah.
Cool.
What's up, everybody? Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you have been kind of man, this is kind of funny. So some of the stuff that you've been doing lately, you've been almost like a reporter of sorts. So you didn't know this, but back in Tinter Battles 2022, I had created this persona called the Reporting Squeegee. And at the time was like, my take on the storylines happening and things like that. It was a lot of fun, man. So some of the people that have been watching this has been part of Tinter Battle since day one will remember the Reporting Squeegee. When you started doing your thing, I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. What I guess inspired you? What gave you the idea to start creating these like reacting videos for the competitors?
I just felt like it was necessary. I think that. By the way, I've been having so much fun with it, and it's just a way for me to be creative, add to the Tinter Battles thing. I want to contribute. I want to build this into what it is, and contribute and do my part. So, I just decided to just pretend to be a reporter and just to kind of spread a little Tinter Battle news to everybody.
It's there's been a lot of storylines going into it. So again, there is a special place in the Texas Squeegee's heart for the people that have been with us since day one. I think immediately of Letha Lassiter, Shady J, just to name a few of many. But man, kind of the storylines that they've been forming for this one, it gives me nostalgia to the original Tinter Battles 1 and Tinter Battles 2. Because there was a lot of this back and forth storylines way back in the day. And when the program started growing, they kind of went away a little bit. But now that we're going into LA, they seem to be coming back. And I'm just such a fan. Ricky Miller, by the way, talk about a trash talker. That dude was dropping bars on PJ White, which, by the way, PJ White, another great trash talker, lots of energy, lots of confidence, both competitors going into it. And this is really like, immovable object meets the unstoppable force here at the Tinter Battles.
There's been a lot going on. I can't even catch up. When I'm thinking about making the one video in response to Ricky Miller, and PJ White comes out with another one, and it's just right one on top of the other. And I love it. I think it's great for Tinter Battles. It's the essence of the battle itself, this competitiveness. It's all good. It's all in good fun, and I think it's great.
That's that's kind of that's a great point that you make there, because nobody that's really doing this is actually like really meaning harm on the other person. Everybody's doing it good fun, because one of the things that I think like truly makes I mean, the show really special is everybody shows up with a smile. Everybody. Like I work with a wrestler called Shane Douglas. Some people may know him. He was really popular in ECW way back in the day. He did some WWE stuff, but he's very like he's part of my production team. He's been part of my production team since day one. You know, one of the things that stood out to him very early on in the shows was he goes, "Man, he goes, I've been to many shows, but when you come to this one, he goes, look around. Everybody's here to have a good time. Everybody has a smile on their face. They're all seeing each other, hugging each other. It's an incredible atmosphere. So those who have never been there, embrace it when you're there. Make your connections, get each other's Instagrams, get each other's phone numbers, contact. You know, your network is your net worth. We have Letha Lassiter here with a great question. I had it up here for a little bit. She says, will we have power or do I need to bring cordless? We will have power to all of the vehicles, much like we did in Houston. So if you want to plug in, you can plug in. If you want to bring a torch, you can bring a torch. The only really tool that would not be allowed to use is anything that might endanger the other competitor, which in the automotive singles is not really a concern. Is really more of a concern with the heat shrink battles because they're competing head to head on the same windshield. So when James Clark says flamethrowers, not so much, my friend. California is a little bit strict. They got a soft spot for wildfires, and so we don't want to cause one ourselves. You know, we want the wildfire to spread on the Tinternet, not in real life. Sean G says, do I need an extension cord for my torch? Did not know extension cords came for torches. Sean G, so I guess you'll have an extension cord. To be honest with you, I don't know what he's truly talking about. I'm excited. I'm curious. A torch with a cord. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about either.
You know, Chris Garcia saying he saw Chameleon. I'm not sure if he's talking about the heat shrink battles, but heat shrink battles is officially going to be using 2 types of colored Chameleon films. We will be having them on site. Most people, just about everybody, has not had experience with this, so it's kind of a even playing field. No, you will not be able to use it before the official rounds. You're just going to have to get in there and pop that cherry with that first round that you're going to be in there for. But we did publish a couple of videos. So if you go to the Tinter Battles accounts, it does hold up to extreme heats with the torch. So it's a pretty well shrunken film. However, it is a little bit thicker. She's a little bit thicker. So Fernando Stain says, put the phone on landscape. So I guess he wants you to flip it sideways. Boys.
Me?
Sipping sideways. Yes, sir. There we go. Look at that. Now we see more of the handsome Tint Star Bob.
All right. Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, man. Any prohibited tools? Again, if it endangers a competitor, no. Mirror image detailing, is Gila a sponsor? Yeah, we're having a bonfire outside, and so they're definitely sponsoring the bonfire. Sure. Chris Garcia said, should I bring my left-handed heat gun? Didn't know that heat guns came right-handed or left-handed. Have you heard of that before?
I don't know. Are you talking about maybe double heat gun?
No, you know, somebody asked me, though, by the way, they were like, can we use a double heat gun? And I was like, technically, yes. If you trip that breaker, though. Eesh.
That's going to be, yeah.
Homie. Letha Lassiter says some like a plain Wagner, and they definitely do. And you know, this kind of reminds me. Let me tell you a little bit of a story. The first time we ever did a heat shrink battles, Tin Star Bob. This was in Orlando, Florida, 2022, at the what became known as the Tint Wiz Castle. It was the first time we did a heat shrink battles head to head on the Mazda's cars. We had vehicles, we had heat guns there, but there was one competitor from the West Coast, Julian Guzman, who stepped into the competition field, picked up one of those little $25 Wagners, and this guy started smoking everybody. At the time, it was kind of like the UFC old days. It was the Wild Wild West. I mean, it was one of like set up like a Royal Rumble style. So if you got drawn to compete, you had to pretty much stay for every round defending your position until you got to the very end, and that's how you won. It was it was wild. But Julian Guzman went 5-0 undefeated streak before he got knocked out with a Wagner heat gun. It was one of the most incredible heat shrink performances that I've ever seen, and I'm looking forward to seeing him there at the event this year. He's coming back for the show.
I love that $25 Wagner. Well, right now I think it's a $30 Wagner heat gun, but I still love that gun.
Yeah. It's a workhorse. I call it the workhorse Wagner heat guns. $25, one of the more preferred uses because of its price point. You know, it does last a pretty decent amount. But I mean, when it's $25, it's $25. It's not that bad. Tony South, who is part of the No Name Tools gang, Film Hub, he says, first one here too. Tinter Battles 1 was his first tinting event, being brand new in the tint industry. Oh, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. That's so cool, man. There were so many people at the first show that I didn't know. Like, I met everybody for the first time in the first Tinter Battles event. So I kind of forget, like, oh, yeah, you guys were there until I watched the videos back. Oh, man. Let's see. Who else have we got here? What the hell? Builder Bob. I don't know about you, 10-star Bob. Is he throwing shade at you? Is he trying to get you to throw your hat in the competitor field?
Who said Builder Bob?
That's Tins by Rico.
Tins by Rico? I don't know what that means though. Let's have him elaborate on that. But yeah, I'm here to help. You know, one day I'm probably gonna throw my name in the hat and compete, but for now, I'm here to add to the Tinter Battles, provide some commentary, do a little hosting, just assist with anything Carlos needs and anything Tinter Battles needs. But you bet your ass I can tint. That's for sure. I definitely can tint.
There you go.
And
so if you had to match up against somebody, who's comes to the top of your list? Who's the guy that you said, you know what, if I ever enter that field, that's the guy who's got a target on his back?
Wait, can you repeat that question, Carlos?
Yeah, if you're entering a competition,
yeah,
right? Who's the guy that you would say that's the person that I want to beat? That's the guy that I want to take down.
Me personally?
Yeah.
Now you're putting me on the spot. Now I'm going to be in the middle of all this too. I don't know. I guess all the big cats, the guys that have some hardware, I'd put you guys all on my list. If I'm competing, I'm aiming for the best. So if you got belts, if you have trophies, if you've won anything, or if you've done anything, I'd go after you. Anybody else I'm not even thinking about you. So anyone that's got some hardware, I'd go after them. And I would urge you as a competitor to do the same thing. If you hop on a car and you see there's somebody notable on the same car, go ahead and take them out. Don't shy away. Don't run away. Take them out. Take them out.
We'll go over the heats here coming up because there's a couple of competitors to watch out for. But Eric Pena's got a question. He says, for those competing, do we have to bring our own tools? Are there tools provided? You're going to have to bring your own tools. This is BYOT. Bring your own tools. Everybody's got different style. If you come up without tools, then you better hope that somebody there's got tools for you. I mean, 44 tools is going to be there, but I'm not sure if they're bringing 44 tools or they're bringing 45. I don't know. So we're going to find out when we get to the show, I guess. PJ says, are we having music? We're having everything under the stars, bro. So, yes, you will have a great time. Tins by Rico says he hates the manufacturer for Chameleon. So I'm curious to see, can you name drop who you're talking about? And I will confirm nor deny. There is no specific brand tied to this Chameleon film, by the way. So we're rolling into this completely white label. It is no name brand, no nothing. This is purely about the competitors and the competition and the sport of competition. Tony South says, any vendor info available? Broad question, tighten it up. What specifically are you asking about? Any vendor info available? I'm not sure what he's referring to. Let me be a guest commentator for one of the battles. James Clark says, hey, James Clark will be on the show floor. If you want to tune in and you want to pop in for a cameo, more than welcome. Contact either Texas Squeegee or David Carley or somebody. I'm sure there'll be an opportunity there. Let's see. Marco the film trainer for Zorla says, do you have any commentary work you've done before? I'd like to see it. Marco, they're acting like a recruiter. God.
Commentary. Well, you know what? I guess there's a clip from Film Fest that Carlos and I was on. But no, I'm not a commentator by trade or by nature. I'm for those that don't know, I'm a veteran DJ, 20 plus years in the game. No stranger to stages, crowds, events. Usually involves DJing with, music, turntables and stuff like that. But, no no stranger to mic work or just being an MC, and definitely know about Tint. So the two worlds collide perfectly, and that's what I'm bringing to Tinter Battles. But y'all keep dragging me. You guys are trying to drag me onto the floor. I'm getting called out left and right. I'm just here to help Carlos commentate.
Hey man, that's what happens. When you get close to the kitchen, you get caught with the fire. Marco, the film trainer,
Getting
said,
called out. Ricky Miller. I want Bob.
yeah, there you go. The film trainer wants Austin Cook. He's been poking at Austin Cook. Now, Austin has never been to a Tinter Battles before. This is his first time going into it. I think he's about to get a double slap to the face of reality. This event is unlike he's ever experienced before. Marco's been calling him out. Seemed like Austin Cook has been bobbing and weaving, dodging the callouts. But once we get down to the show floor, there may or may not be the point of no escape. Marco, the film trainer Cazorla, the former heat shrink battle champion of 2022, taking on Austin Cook, who I don't think has ever competed in a competition, but has a lot of momentum, has a lot of support. We're going to find out if Austin Cook defends in his home state against Marco, the film trainer from Texas. Here we go. Carla Nunez here, one of the Tinter Battles, I would say right hand, left hand people. One of the organizers on the back end says if Carlos was a utensil, he'd be a ladle. The way he'd be stirring the pot, I'd definitely be stirring the pot, bro. I love the fun of sport. I love the fun of competition. It's great. Marco, the film trainer, Cazorla says, damn, Bob squirming like Anthony Fauci last week. Oh, my God. We have so many comments to catch up on. The next one, I'm bringing my toolbox. I want all that smoke, Austin Cook. Damn. Marco's really got his target on Austin Cook here. Austin might get cooked. I'm not sure whether he's doing the cooking or getting cooked. Richard Gonzachian says, I got 44 tools and important sauce is one of. Damn, like 99 problems, but a. Like Marco said, Dr. Fauci pleading the fifth. It's okay. Let's go on. Jesus and Naya, the film trainer, please. I'm a professional yapper and one of the most experienced people in our industry. Hey, Jesus, if you've got the ability to yap one-on-one with the tinted one, the mic will be hot and ready like a Little Caesars pizza, ready for you to take the stage. Who is the manufacturer? Not I hate. Oh. See, I'm over here starting the pot again. He didn't say that he hated the manufacturer. He wants to know the manufacturer. I don't know. It's white label. You know, it's like the Texas Squeegee said in the previous competition when Beyond Your Park was laying down the white towel. If it ain't white, it ain't right. So we're white labeling this film. Next one. I'm going to bring one squeegee, one hard card. That's it. Damn, PJ White going in there with like a minimalistic approach here. They might actually be an advantage for him because a lot of times people they'll waste time digging in their tool belt for tools, and he's coming in here with very minimalistic tools, so there's no digging in. He might actually be able to save some time there in the time limits for the event.
I feel like
a lot of messages. Go ahead.
I feel like the good tinters, they can tint with a minimalistic pouch and just keep it real simple. 3M bonded card, 3M bondo card, awful blade, and a blue max, and just call it a day. I've seen guys do it.
You know, Eric Payne has got a very interesting question. He says, can I pack my plotter and bring it? Like, you can definitely bring it, but you ain't going to use it because there's no plotters, no plotter babies. You got a hand cut. Private pay-per-view battle. I'm guessing this is probably a Marco, the film trainer. This is probably the only way Austin Cook would actually compete, to be honest with you. Put that sucker behind a paywall, and then he'll be like, all right, let's do it. Which, by the way, Austin Cook, I'm glad Louis mentioned this. Austin Cook is actually bringing a tattoo artist to the event, and he's going to be offering tattoos to people. I'm not a tattoo guy myself, but a lot of people are. For me, tattoos is one of those lifelong commitments, and God, if I had tattoos when I was in my 20s, I'd be looking at them now like thinking, what the hell did I just do? You know, so for me, I'm not a tattoo guy, but I support tattoo. And I told Marco earlier, yo, we might be laying some play-by-play on these on tattoos for the show. I mean, so many things happening at the event, dude. I'm telling you, this event is so jam-packed. Like, let's go through a couple of things that people are doing. PPG are part of the event. They are having a PPF challenge. It's part of their experience that they are bringing to the show. Those that have never tried PPG PPF, you're going to have the opportunity to try it there, as well as being part of a challenge that they're hosting. Johnson Window Films. This is one that I'm actually pretty excited about. He is bringing in the Beetle Bug back window. This has been a very popular competition that they have hosted at SEMA's. And finally, I would say finally, the Tinter Battles is hosting what the OGs have been calling a hard back window. Finally, because every time we put out the Heat Train Battles content, of course, it's the loudmouths that never show up to the event that have the loudest opinions. They're always saying that it's an easy window, try a hard window. Well, now we listened, we heard you. Now you have no excuse. Come to the show floor, take the Beetle Bug back window challenge, powered by Johnson Window Films, and put your money where your mouth is. Get out of the back, get out of behind that keyboard, and come up to the event. Can't wait to see you there. Marco, the film trainer Cazorla, says, "I am pissing vinegar and peptides. I've been ready for battle." Oh my God.
Yeah.
Here we go. Chris Garcia says Austin versus Marco is the Theo version of Frankie versus Pete. Dude, I swear, man, if Frankie and Pete are not in the same structure head to head, it'll probably be the disappointment of the year. These guys, Frankie, also known as Don Tents, has been chomping at the bit. If you look at his bio on Instagram, he's already declared that he is going to be the 2028 and 2029 Tinter Battles champion. I've never seen a confidence like that ever before.
Can we curse on this?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
We can?
Yeah.
What I have a question. Who the fuck is Don Tents?
He is a self-proclaimed prodigy from the West Coast. He is a member of the Worldwide Tint Club, if I can call it a club. But Pete Espinosa saying it's past Frankie's bedtime. That's why he's not on the live. And you got to keep in mind, it's 7:47 in Houston. That means it's 5:47 in the West Coast. So it might be past his curfew time. Maybe he didn't get permission from his parents to be on the live. I'm not sure.
And I say that as a statement, not a question, because it sounds like a question. Who the fuck is Don Tents? That's not a question.
Oh, are you saying that like Conor McGregor? When he answered,
it's who
the fuck is this guy?
Who the fuck is Don Tents?
We're gonna find out. The thing about Don, right? He puts so much pressure on himself, and look, I get it, I respect it, because I still say to this day, and I'm not saying this braggadociously, and Marco can back me up, and everybody who's part of the First Families can back it up. The Texas Squeegee, the mouth of the South, was one of the greatest trash talkers in sports entertainment history. I got to look at Don Tents, though, because when I was first getting into this industry, I was very much going into the OGs. Everybody that had a name, I saw as a bowling pin, and this was a Texas Squeegee, the bowling ball that was going to knock them all one by one and be the final nail in the coffin of all these tinter careers that at the time, I felt like were in my way, but it worked in my favor. From the ashes, Tinter Battles was born. But now Don Tents has been adding a lot of pressure on himself to come out to California, and all eyes are on him, whether he's going to back up all that trash talk against Pete Espinosa, who has been a multiple-time Tinter Battles competitor. He placed second at XDC, the XPL Dealer Conference, and he's not strange to competition. Pete installs flagless every single day. I'm not sure if Don Tents does that, but there's a lot of tension between these two competitors. And as Don Tents says, he's got a belt. His belt is he has belt for ass, and the belt is rated E for everyone, as he quoted.
Yeah, shout out to Don Tents. I love that kid. That kid's great. I actually don't even know him, and I haven't met him, but I'm looking forward to meeting. Is he going to be there? Is he allowed in?
Yeah, of course he's allowed in. I mean. Chris, if you're watching this, is Don Tents, is he on the free ticket, 18 and under, or is he like registered? I'm not sure what's going on there, but make no mistake about it, he's definitely in the flat glass battles. He's going to be in Heat 1, and we're going to see if he's going to select Pete to be his opponent or if he's going to squirm away and pick somebody else.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting Don Tents, seeing him in action, and definitely going to pull him aside for a little interview there.
Looks like you're getting called out again here. Carla Nunez says, we want to see Bob on the Beetle Bug Backlash.
Bob on there. I don't know why everyone's calling me out. I'm here to just, you know what I mean? I'm here to keep the peace. I'm here I'm here to let y'all know what's happening. You
I'm
know,
telling you, bro, you're with the industry ladle. I'm just stirring up that pot. Welcome to the sport of entertainment.
I'm
This
just,
is
I'm
Tinter
just,
Battles.
I'm just doing my job. I'm just telling a story as it needs to be told, folks.
You
Y'all
know,
dragging me
they're dragging you in, bro. They're dragging you in. I say,
for
like,
sure.
this year, this year, I will say there is a competition you can technically compete in, and that's the heat shrink battles. If you qualify in the top 16, heat shrink battles this year is, and it's been this way every single year, but just for those who are coming out for the first time, to enter the heat shrink battles, all you have to do is enter the event. There are qualifiers that are going to be happening at the show. To do the qualifier, all you have to do is shrink half of half of the windshield, the top 16 fastest times, then advance into a head-to-head tournament style bracket, and we're going to find out who the top winner is.
I'm gonna
Cash,
jump in one. I'm gonna jump in the battle, the heat shrink battle. I got you guys.
I might do
I
the
got
same
you.
thing too. I might do the same thing too. If I make it into the semifinals, I'll just have to put the mic down, and Texas Squeegee's got to go to what the Texas Squeegee
Everyone,
does.
everyone's calling me out right now. I didn't know this was gonna be like this, guys.
Cash
You
says,
know,
who's your top 5 predictions for the Tinter Battles winners? I don't know that I can name a top 5, but if I put my money on somebody, as the money I've been putting on the guy that I labeled as the boogeyman, which is Fernando Sainz. This competitor has probably the most momentum going into this event. Ricky Miller is a close second to me. Like, he's another guy who has had a lot of experience in the past. He's won in the past, but if we're just looking at the last 7 months for this year, nobody has had more gold than Fernando Sainz. There's a momentum that he's got coming into it, and whether it's Tinter Battle in Houston Teams Edition, whether it's Film Fest, whether it's the Hexes competitions, he's constantly taking home first. So much so that I started calling his shop the Museum of First Places.
he's a beast. That picture with him with the tool chest, with all his hardware in the back, is so gangster. And he's definitely a G. You can't have a photo with all that hardware in the back and not just be like, you know, the man. So shout out to Fernand.
He's going to be a tough one to beat, man. There's a couple strategies that I know certain competitors, especially going into the preliminary heats in round 1. Some competitors, this is what's so fascinating to observe, is that you not necessarily, you may not know who you're going up against, but if you were competing, would you try to pair yourself up against someone that's going to be an easy win, or would you try to knock out a person you think is going to be a tough defeat if they make it into the finals?
That's a tough one there. If you're running to a car and you look across the car and it's Fernand, do you stay on the car or do you just say, hey, you know what? I should probably just bump over to the next one. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to be in those competitors' shoes at that very moment. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. But maybe you just put blinders on. There's another way. You could just put blinders on and just say, I don't care who's on the car. I'm gonna set up right here, and whoever's on the other side of the car is on the other side of the car. And then you look up, and that's the person you're gonna actually have to take out. It's a tough call.
It is. That's the thing
I,
that's
I
so
think it'd be.
fascinating about this, though. It's so
I think
fascinating
if you
because, go
I
ahead.
think if you look up and you see Fernand across from you, I think you at least have to be a little worried and just say, "Hey, this is kind of crazy." But all right, here we go. Let's buckle up. Let's do this.
Fernand's a nice guy when you talk to him one-on-one. I've had the pleasure of talking with him, and he's got the greatest coach in this industry, in my opinion. His wife, Donnie, the coach, the way that she studies his movements when he's competing is exactly like I would normally see, like in the movie Rocky Balboa, right? You have his trainer just like observing his footwork and his positioning and the tools. She watches him, and she takes notes. I'm not saying this as an exaggeration. This is like the real deal. I got to witness this firsthand at the Hexas PPF competition. Like, I saw this with my own 2 eyes, and it's one of those things that one day, when the grandchildren of the Texas Squeegee look up to the Texas Squeegee and says, "Where were you when Fernando Sainz was building his legacy, being one of the greatest performers this industry has ever seen. And I would say, I was there, kiddo. I was there and I was commentating on him and I saw it firsthand with me own eyes. Face Window Tinny says, when time does the event start and end for each day? It starts at 9 a.m. Pacific, and it's going to end somewhere around 5 to 6 p.m., somewhere in that range. The rounds end when the rounds ends, but it's somewhere in that range where we are projecting them to be completed by. God, dog, so many comments in here. Let's see. Louis Parra says, yep, you did talk a lot of shit back in your day. I definitely did. And you know what? You better bet your bottom tried. The Texas Squeegee has no problem sitting down the mic, picking up a squeegee and going toe to toe, head to head, one on one with the tinted one. Let's see here. So a couple of more comments here, man. P has Film Trend. It says Pete has been seen by over 40 million people. That's the size of Texas. That's the crazy part. So we just discovered this yesterday. One of the videos that we had published on the Tinter Battles account on TikTok with Pete had 40 million views, which has been, this is one thing that's kind of actually truly been fascinating here. The amount of recognition that the competitors have had from regular people that either in the grocery stores or out somewhere is becoming more and more frequent, because they'll send me direct messages and they're like, you won't believe the story that just happened. Somebody got recognized at a gas station. Pete walked into a sheriff's office that we had a project that was sold here in Houston. He walked into the sheriff's office. They recognized him because of the logo. And the lady says, you're the guy that competes. My husband and I watched your video on TikTok. And Pete was smiling ear to ear. I mean, it's been pretty cool. Ricky Miller has also told me about moments where he got recognized as well because of the shirts and the colors. I mean, this is a platform. It's becoming a mainstream platform, and you just never know who's watching you. So you gotta put out your best performance, man, because it's also crazy too, by the way, because the moments that are captured here at these shows, they can often make you or break you. And sometimes when they break you, it becomes a pivotal moment in your life where you come back with this determination. And of course, the person I'm thinking of as I'm saying this is Jordan Shady J Jernigan. He suffered a devastating loss in Tinter Battles 2022. He did not complete his car, came back in 2023. And I remember he made it into the finals. He looked me in the eye. He said, my goal for this one is not to win it, it's just to finish, because I didn't finish last year and I have to finish this year. And he finished. Then going into Houston, he really went for that win. But yeah, he had a lot of fun, man. He had a lot of fun. He was rallying up the crowd. I've seen so much growth in him personally. And that's one of the I think ultimately the most fulfilling things of being part of this Tinter Battles journey experience is to see the growth in others. Growth is contagious. And if you surround yourself with it, it's just like happiness. Happiness is contagious. Surround yourself with happy people and you'll be happy. Surround yourself with growth and you'll grow.
I think shout out to Shady J, first of all. Him and I spent a week training some new students over there at the GeoShield Academy. But I did notice that Shady J is on a very upward kind of trajectory. My man has cleaned up. He put the bottle away. He's eaten better. He's leaned up. His face looks different from the past. He just posted that he had a Tesla in there and he was practicing all night. And that guy's just great. Shout out to you, Shady J, man. I love you, brother. And I just see the path that he's on is just very evident. It's very positive. He's on a whole new level. He just looks different too. So I think he's going to be one to look out for. If you hop on a car and you see Shady J across from you, he's definitely one to look out for also. So shout out to you, Shady. And I just see a lot of just growth in that guy, and he's one to definitely keep an eye on. And I'm going to be watching him closely too.
Yeah, I'm watching everybody closely going into those heats because you just don't know. Everybody's going to have a story walking out of this show. Everybody's going to have a story walking out of this program, the competitions, because you don't know who's going to be on that other side. You may have your eyes on somebody. It's not guaranteed who you're going to get paired with. It's just sometimes it's going to be the luck of the draw or just how you end up with. Jordan Shady J here says he tossed the idea of taking on Fernan first. Then he woke up from his nap. Of course, Fernando here fires back saying that belt has no name yet until Sunday. And then PJ White chimes in saying it doesn't matter who's across from me. They are going home. There is a lot of confidence coming into this program, coming into this show. This is a clash of titans. This is a clash of professionals, the elites versus the elites, streaming worldwide on the Tinter Battles Network. Here, well, not here, but live from Los Angeles, California, in the Blue Ground Studios, a studio production space. By the way, this is the first time I think that there is an event going into a production studio designed for that type of experience. This is by the way, the event that we got for this show. They're known for having TikTok going in there and filming stuff. They had Netflix there. The soccer player Messi had a Messi experience event that went on for like an entire month. I mean, this is a space that is set up for production, larger than life. This is why I say, man, those that were at Amelia Island, if you enjoyed that show, wait till you come to this one.
Very excited. It's gonna be next level. Real quick, just because I thought of it, there was a comment by Poppy Eliu the other day that I skipped over, but it just resonated in my head and it's burned in there and I can't forget it. But he commented on some video and it was such a gangster line, and I don't know if he made it up or not, or if it's from a movie, but he quoted it was a bunch of shit talking on some video, and Poppy Eliu said, "Winter is coming." And
I do
I
remember.
I read that and it's burned in my head, and I was like, is that from a movie? I don't know where that's from, but it's such a bad line that he's another one to look out for, and that is a bold statement. Winter is coming, and if you see him on the other side of the car, you got a challenge ahead of you too. So
Oh, look here, Marco the film trainer, because they're like dropping some knowledge. He says Apple TV makes movies there too. Dude, I'm telling you. So let me give you a little bit of the backstory with how we even end up with this production studio. So I had flown out to LA because I was given a lead for one of the venues that we were looking at in originally in downtown LA. So it was like the heart of downtown. And when I first walked into the venue, mind you, this is the second show that we're having this year. I really didn't know what the attendance or turnout, was truly going to be. So, the last thing you want to do is commit to a big venue and then have a little bit of people show up and everything. The whole thing looks like a ghost town because we've been part of shows like that in the past, and it's not a good experience for anybody. So we went out to this venue, and at the time it was like a 13,000 square foot building, heart of downtown. So it had a lot of character, which was a fancy way of saying it was pretty ghetto. And I just didn't know. I was like, I could make this work, but just something about it, I'm not sure. My event planner then rung me up and she said, "Hey, I've got this other venue I need you to go take a look at. It's called Blue Ground Studios. It's out by close to Glendale, California." She showed me some pictures and I was like, "Man, this looks pretty cool, but it looks massive." And so, I drove over there. We stopped by the building, walked into it the first time. I walked into the venue, and my first thought was, this would be an awesome show, but I think we're about 2 or 3 years away from actually being able to fill it, to produce an experience. And
mhm.
so we didn't really commit to it then. We were looking for other stages as well throughout the venue, but one of the principles in my personal life that I carry with me on a personal side and in business is that don't cap yourself. There's that cliche saying that says shoot for the stars or shoot for the moon, because if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. That's like cliche. We've always heard that. But the principle of that quote is, if you're going to go for something, set the bar really, really high, because even if you miss it, you still hit something high rather than just kind of aiming low. And so I decided to take on the chance with this venue, and I said, this is going to give us the most room for growth, and I didn't want to be limited to, like, in the past we've had to limit our attendees because we'll typically like sell out, or we're at capacity, we can't do anymore. This time I really didn't want to do that. I was like, you know what, I really have a vision for having a ton of people at this show and having this awesome experience of people just sharing this unique program with each other, and then being able to tell that story and have those relationships. So, lo and behold, we took that chance. We got in with the Blue Ground Studios, and so far everything has been working out, and we've exceeded expectations. And I'm really truly excited for the program, for the show.
Likewise, likewise. And you know what? Props to you too, Carlos, for taking a risk and, moving what could have been a show in 2 years, 3 years to right now, to next week. And just hearing that, I'm just so excited because, we're, business rewards those who think and move fast. And we're all, a lot of us, most of us in here, we're all businessmen in some way, shape, or form or another. And we're all going to see what happens next week. And we're all going to have a great time. And it's going to be next level. It's going to be historical. Tinter Battles is on the rise, and it's going to be bigger than ever.
Yeah, for sure. This one there. So just to go over the schedule with people, we're going to close out here shortly. It's been about that hour. So the schedule itself, August 14th is the official setup day. You can arrive to the event if you want to get first sight of if you want to get the behind the scenes of what a production of this level is like. August 14th, we will have the doors open. You can also pick up an early batch registration so that the following day you don't have to wait in line. You can just get straight access to it. We're also going to be having official merch in the official Tinter Battle store right at the entrance as well. So those that want to pick up an official shirt, we're having also some tumblers like this. We're having the official battle kegs. They are powered by Tint Hozilla as well. There now, a lot of these supplies are very limited, so they're first come, first buy, first purchase. However, we're not the only ones that are going to be having merch there. There's a few others, like Film Pros Nation is relaunching, Worldwide Tint Company, or Worldwide Tint Co. I forgot how they go this, but they're going to be there as well. So many giveaways. That's the one thing that I also want to tell people: pack lightly or bring an extra bag, because you are going to walk out with giveaway stuff. That is, there make no
Oh,
mistake about it.
also save up your money and support a lot of these vendors, because they're here doing what they can for the industry. But also, on a side note, the stuff that I've seen from Film Pros Nation and Worldwide Tint, killer merch, top notch stuff. If you want really cool hoodies, t-shirts, hats, they got them. So look forward to that. That's gonna be at Tinter Battles too. You'll be able to gear up and just get some really cool merch, the best merch I've ever seen, actually. So it's all gonna be there.
Yeah, and also Tintwiz has partnered with the official show in a very major way. They have provided a lot of merch, and most of it is reserved for the first 500 people that come to the event. Chris Garcia is mentioning one of them in particular. 500 dash towels available at their booth space. So if you want to pick up a free dash towel, you have to go over to Chris over at Worldwide Tint. I don't know who Chris. By the way, Chris, I haven't even messaged you about this. Who the hell is going to be manning your booth, bro? You're going to be busy competing. Somebody's got to be behind that booth, otherwise you're going to hit a lick on it, bro. You say LA is not for sale, and they may say you're damn right it's not for sale. I'm snatching it up. I'm not buying it. I'm stealing it.
That's funny. It's not for sale because no one's at the booth to sell it because he's
Yeah, right.
competing. Uh,
Yeah, man. So, but just so many cool moments that's gonna happen at this show. Like truly, be ready for it. Get your phones fully charged. You want to be there throughout the entire day, and I can't stress this enough. This was such a cool component that we finally got right at the previous Tenor Battles. Is the official professionally streamed show. It's like a television production show streaming on YouTube, streaming on Facebook. Just search Tinter Battles Live. And those that are watching, that want to watch from home, whether it's family members, co-workers, friends, whatever, customers, if you want to, but you can put them in, those that are keeping their stores open while traveling out there. You can put it on your TV, and hey, that's the guy that owns the shop. Look, buy the ceramic tin. You wanna hire a competitor. I don't know about you, Bob, but if I was looking for a plumber and I found out that there's a plumber that goes to plumbing championships, that's the guy that I want. You know why?
absolutely,
Because that guy
absolutely.
cares more. That guy cares about his job and his craft more than just getting the job done. He wants to sharpen his skills against going somebody else that's also just as good, or if not better. People like that, people that have ambition, look to overachieve. So whenever you can sell that, or you can put it on your screen and saying, "Hey, I go to these events because I want to compete, I want to get better, and I want to stack my skills against somebody else who also claims to be the best." That's how you hire the best. I'm not a $99 tent guy. I'm the
Yeah.
$1,099 tent guy.
Carlos, I think what you're saying is by us all even just being there, period, we all win actually, because that's what we're displaying, that's what we're showing, that we care so much about our trade, that we're willing to do all this, compete, and you know, we're different. So we're all winners at Tinter Battles. If you end up in the building, you win. You already won.
Yes, exactly right. So all right, let's close out. We're gonna go just one final time. Again, a reminder to everybody, tintertainment.com. That's where you'll find all of the information for the event, your schedules, your heats, again, for the billionth time. If you have questions, go to tintertainment.com. All of your need to knows are going to be on there. The schedule is on there. You can press and hold on your phone and it'll save to your phone so that you can reference it back. Very easy to follow. And if you're away from the event and you're competing in maybe one of the Heat 3, Heat 4, you can also tune in live on YouTube and be able to track what heat we are currently on so that you know to be there right on time. It's very easy, very simple to follow. Schedules again on tintertainment.com. That's where you find it. Competition format, tintertainment.com. That's where you find it. And we'll be releasing a lot of the judging formats as well. The judging that we did in Houston was very, very, very transparent. We had pick tutorials, we had deductions, transparent for everybody to see. That's going to be done the same way as well. And after the show, we are releasing all of the scores from the finals, good or bad. So whatever it may be, a negative score or an incredible score, it's going to get put out there. I was about to say something more transparency than the FBI. But so anyways, if anybody's got any final questions, please drop them right now. This is going to be the official final live. Allegedly. I actually might go live from Blue Ground Studios, but this may be the final one. So if you got any questions or anything like that, please let me know. There's a website, Ricky Miller. Yes, there's a website, tintertainment.com. Tintertainment.com. Tintertainment.com.
There it is.
Anyways, Bob, seems like you're out driving out and about, so the Texas Squeegee will let you go.
No doubt. I'll leave you guys with this. We got 8 days till competition. Hold on, let me buckle this up. Sorry, we're doing haircuts and baseball and softball and stuff. You guys caught me in the mix. So
Tin Star Dad.
Tin Star Dad, there it is. We got 8 days. Okay. We got people stirring the pot up, and let's just bring this whole kettle to a whole full-blown boil. We got 8 days left. You got anyone you want to call out? Call them out, make a video, tag me. Let's have some fun. Let's get some rivalries going. Let's stir it up and just make this real exciting. And we got 8 days to do it. So feel free to tag me in something, send me something. And with that said, I'm out. And I'll see y'all soon.
All right, Bob. We'll see you soon. I'm super thankful for you joining on the team and very grateful for you doing the live reporting of the event. This is going to be an awesome experience. I truly am going into it with the mindset of having fun and living this moment with everybody that is brought together by the love of the craft, the love of the trade, and the love of the sport of window tint competitions, man. I can't wait to see you there. Squeegee that.
Peace, guys.
See ya. All right, so we got Tints by Rico. One more time. Again, we're in the final minutes. I'm going to show you guys the official heats. We're going to go through them pretty quick right here. So let's get this up on the screen. DJ Squeegee, let's get this up on the screen here for the final time. This, by the way, is going to be released on Instagram and Facebook. So if you are missing this, we're going to be releasing this. And this is also available on the website, which happens to be tintertainment.com. That's exactly right. That's Heat 1 for the automotive division. Screenshot it, pause the video, take a picture. This is Heat number 2. Screenshot it, pause, take a picture. Heat number 3. Heat number 4. Heat number 5 for a total of 80 competitors. Heat number 1 on flat glass. Heat 2 on flat glass. Heat 3 on flat glass. And finally, Heat 4. This is for the automotive and flat glass division. So at the event, we still have the heat shrink battles. Those that are wanting to compete at the heat shrink battles, please show up early, 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be having the heat shrink battle going live, the qualifiers. Anybody can try. You can try as many times as you want, but by the deadline, which is going to be 1 p.m., by that deadline, the top 16 fastest times advance into the semifinals, going head-to-head to determine the top 8 advancing into the finals. Here we go. Tints by Rico. Anyways, Tints by Rico, it's been excited to actually watch you comment on all of this, man. I'm excited to see you coming out to the program. Fernando Sainz, here we go. What we can and can't do in the prelims. So Fernand, in the prelims, you don't, if you're talking automotive specifically, you don't have to shave. We're not doing the shaving extra points in the prelims. You just have to lay a good window. And if you want to shave and take on that risk, completely up to you. You don't have to. You're not going to get any extra points for that. Shaving is only in the finals, and this year we are allowing files as well. We're not allowing files in the round one, but we are allowing it in the final since it's going to be the last person to touch that card. So if you happen to chip the glass, you're disqualified, but you're not going to screw anybody else off that's coming up after you. Jordan Shady J says, bro, hitting that wrap it up button. I am, bro. You know how this goes. Tintertainment.com. It's like the 5th time that I'm like, okay, guys, we got to go. We got to go. All Saints have to do is show up. PJ White says all Saints has to do is show up. It's pretty simple. Fernando, like I said, man, before we go on the competitions, it's going to be very simple. The rules are going to be up on the big screen. As far as the prelims, during the prep phase, you can clean your glass, you can pull your film, you just cannot put the film on the glass, and that applies both to auto and flat glass. So if you want to, if you for whatever reason end up having 15 minutes and then you take all 15 minutes prepping your glass, by all means take the 15 minutes. So Jordan Shady, just that's an old reference. Anyways, guys, I can't wait. Seriously, I can't wait to come out to the show. This is going to be an awesome experience. I've said it a lot. The entire team is truly excited. I'm pretty calm about this, but I'm more excited. I'm not really nervous for this. This is not our first show. This is our biggest one. But hey, this is our 6th program since we started this since back in June of 2021. Man, West Coast, LA, you guys have been awesome to us. We are just getting started with this. And by the end of the show in Los Angeles, we will release the location of Tinter Battles 7. So stay tuned for that. And don't miss anything. Watch Tinter Battles live on YouTube and Facebook. Search Tinter Battles live on YouTube and Facebook. And follow us on social media at Tinter Battles. Again, the website, tintertainment.com, has all of your need to knows. And when in doubt, join our Facebook group, Tinter Battles, and drop your comments in there, because chances are, if you have a question, so do other people. And if we can answer it for one, we would rather answer it for everybody. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a great week. A lot coming up here for this August, and I can't wait to see you that. Squeegee that. Boom. Let's go ahead and end this stream.